This week marks 12 years of the passing of my rabbi, my Rebbe, the single most influential person in my life by far.
For any person who would ask me, what does it take to be happy? I could tell them I can't speak from experience, but I can't tell you about this one person who I saw who was happy, who was the embodiment of happiness.
Rav Usher, his love, his passion, and his true warmth and simcha. Take a look at these clips. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you for watching.
You saw the ever-present smile that was on Rav Usher's face and the happiness, the way that he carried himself without any fear. Like there was just a simcha that was emanating from him, but it also felt like it was something that you yourself could achieve. Whenever Rav Usher spoke and he talked about a Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, it was always like he was talking about his best friend who always had his back, was mamish right there with him, and you could have it too. The way that he said it wasn't like, and look at the level that I'm at. He said it like with a laugh. He said it with a chuckle. Every story that I remember that he said that was in that vein was something that was like, right? Because we're on the same level, because we're friends, kaviyachol, and we're not on that level. But Lamaisa was something that was an inspiration, and I like to compare bitachon to like a trust fall. Okay, a person is going to, like, if you were standing somewhere and you wanted to lean back, or you said trust fall, right? How far would a person fall down until someone else caught you? Lemaisa, I think that's something that's like a muscle for the bitachon that we have. Sometimes we're falling all the way and they're like, oh, okay, trust fall, someone going to catch me. By Rav Asher, he never even moved because Hashem was supporting him the entire time. For other people, it could be your mamish by the ground before a person is actually caught, before he's willing to be caught, because Hashem's really there to catch him the entire time. By Rav Asher, there was never even like leaning back, because the whole time Hashem was there supporting him. So the freedom with which Rav Asher was able to live his life and this happiness is something that I want to believe it's something that I am able to attain. It's something that I want to be able to live my life. And I know that the key is through the bitachon. I know the key is through the gaiva, kina, and kavod. But every single person in this world that wouldn't say that they want to be a bal bitachon. Every person that I've ever met says they want to be happy. And whatever it is that I have to do to have something like that in my life is to try to follow the best blueprint I ever saw in my life. And that was Rav Asher. I can't think of any time that I had some sort of interaction, and I had some I had some challenging conversations with Rav Asher when I was in Toras Simcha and after I was in Toras Simcha, and every conversation with him was the same. I didn't feel that anything weighed heavy on Rav Asher. It was everything is supposed to be exactly as it is, and there was no like serious seismic change in any conversation. No matter how down I was, no matter how well I thought I was doing, Rav Asher's response was always the same, and it was always steady. And Lemaisa, to me, that's really someone who is living in tune with what Hashem wants there to be in the world. Because I'm not like, you're able to jump onto the train exactly where it's supposed to be. There is no wavering right or left. Rav Asher was mamish living exactly in the present moment, doing exactly what it was that he needed to do. And for any person who would ask me, what does it take to be happy? I could tell them I can't speak from experience, but I can't tell you about this one person who I saw who was happy, who was the embodiment of happiness. And Lamaisa, that's the takeaway that I've had when I was reminiscing about Rav Asher, when I realized the yard site was coming up. When Rav Yosef had asked me about saying something, I don't feel that I'm someone who's able to give something over, as opposed to people who mamish gained as much as they could from the time that they spent in Toras Simcha. But I guess a small consolation would be that the closer a person was when they were in yeshiva, the more that you saw Rav Asher, the more you were warmed by the fire. It was like being by the sun. So I'm further away, and Lamaisa, it's something of the moon. But when you're further away, you're able to have perhaps a broader perspective.
Very powerful words. Rav Asher pulled in so many people and was able to do this with his tremendous love. When we reach these stories of the Torah in the book of we're in right now in Shemos, when we're discussing the Exodus and the entanglement of the Jewish people in Egypt, he would describe the story with so much passion. And the lions and the tigers, he would say, the way he would describe it was realism. He would say there was an announcement in the entire world. Every newspaper would say, next week is blood. And then for an entire 3 weeks, there was blood. And then there was 1 week where there was no blood. And then the newspapers would say, Tzvardeya, frogs. But the realism, his main point about the Exodus was that it really happened. And if that was one thing that he wanted to drill into us, if there's one thing that the Torah wants to drill into our heads, is that the Exodus from Egypt really happened. It really happened. The Jews were really enslaved in Egypt, and the Jews really left Egypt. When we understand that, we understand that it needed to take place over a year. Why did it need to take place over a year? So that all the Egyptians would be able to see God. It's not just for us, exile. Exile is for the nations of the world. And we need Paro to send us out of Mitzrayim. We need Paro to tell the Jews to go. It's not enough that we leave. We need the Goyim of Paro had to tell Bnei Yisrael because we wanted Paro. And at a certain point, Paro finally understands. By Borod, he finally said, Etzba Elokim, it has to be God. That's what God is looking for. He's looking for the whole world to recognize Hashem. And entanglement in Mitzrayim means that we be able to understand, we're able to speak their language. When Moshe Rabbeinu, he translated the Torah into 70 languages, 70 different languages. What does that mean? He translated into 70 languages. He hid in every single language a certain understanding of God. That the French people have a certain way, the Italians, every nation, whether you're from Canada or you're from Argentina, regardless, every nation has a way of recognizing Hashem. Every exile, the exile we're in right now is the American exile. That's the last exile that we're in. And may we witness to see the redemption in our times and the message that Rav Asher would give over about the Exodus. The most important message is that it really happened. And that when Moshe Rabbeinu went into Paro's palace, he really saw everything over there. And this is the most important message. It really happened. And like we say in the Navi says, K'maaseh Eretz Mitzrayim al tasu, don't be like the Egyptians. So thank you for listening. Have a great Shabbos. And we hope next week to have some new interviews. And we look forward to seeing them together. Thank you. Good Shabbos.